Ladies and gentlemen, hello, good evening, and welcome to Ask the Tournament Director Talk with Thomas. Yes, I'm fine, no problem. Welcome to my stream. Also today it will be a funny mixture zwischen Deutsch und Englisch. So wie das letzte Mal, zu Beginn the general topics in English and later about our Dachgemeinde und Glücksspielgesetze wird natürlich wieder in Deutsch sein. Und dann switch ich wieder zu den general topics back to English about some rulings, about like what is a tournament doing during Corona without any tournaments. And so it will mixture between German and English. I think sometimes it's the best solution. Maybe yes, maybe not. So I think it's still the best. So let's see if it works like this. If not, just chat, text it, write me and complain if you like it or not. And because it was just water. Because COVID-19 is getting tougher, the second wave and kind of lockdown and no lockdown, I decided not to wait with my vodka lemon. I just started right now. So I hope you spend a nice week. I hope you're fine. I hope you're healthy wherever you are. If you're in the red light district maybe, or in the orange, or maybe you're happy and you're still in the green area. So at the end, wherever you are, I hope you feel well and you're also like healthy. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, today topics. First, as usual, I want to talk about my lovely partners, my partners in crime, which honestly I don't see that much, but sometimes good news during the bad news. Riba Stars Bratislava, they still open, they still running casino business, and also like they still run some tournaments, not poker at the moment, but blackjack, slots, roulette, whatever, just fun tournaments. So in the end, I just recommend really, if you like casino games, which I do, for example, I think you really should go there, take a visit, because it's really fun to play such tournaments. I did it like in my past, and it was really, really funny to play slots tournaments. And honestly, no risk, it's for free. So sometimes it's just better to spend some time in the casino before spending time boring at home. So download the app of Riba Stars Bratislava. There you find also everything in German or English, or go to the website. This is for sure still the best way it is. Yeah. If you have access to Win Today Poker, I strongly recommend this short-handed series. 15 tournaments, also tournament 3 or 400, which I think it's amazing because it's like more for fun. You can play every hand, nobody can complain, you don't fall asleep because you just can play every hand. It's not like a full ring table with 8 or 9 players where you're just sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then you have a good hand and then like you still run against. So I really wrong. Maybe I will stream some funny tournaments, but I really say you should do like this. And for sure, it's in German. Was haben Pokerspielen als gemeinsam? Je mehr Patienten sie haben, desto mehr Geld gibt es. Pokerfirma, the best and biggest German poker news, poker information site. Also like casino is over there, any news, and like also Instagram, social media. You can follow Pokerfirma. And by the way, this lovely girl is Rosie. So Rosie is responsible for Pokerfirma. I think we all know her, who is in the poker business. And this is her official LinkedIn picture, so she can't be angry with me. So, hi Rosie, happy evening. So I was like, if you want to need some information about any topic, go to Pokerfirma, text Pokerfirma. Rosie knows about everything, so I think she's still the best contact for any topics. And on Instagram we have daily a funny speech like this. And I think especially during COVID, I think it's just the best what it is. Yeah, so this to my partners and to some updates, other COVID-19 updates, honestly. Cheers. That's the only update. Lockdown, no lockdown. Czech Republic is still getting worse. Slovakia now wants to test everybody. Germany getting numbers going higher. Austria is like sometimes this, like this, so no lockdown, but soft lockdown. So the end. Yeah. And now let's switch to German und zu unserer schönen Dachgemeinde. Ja, Deutschland, Österreich, Schweiz, unser herrliches Dachgebiet, was auch Pokern und Casino betrifft, also einfach Gambling. Und da geht es immer drunter und drüber. Und ja, jetzt natürlich sehr aktuell in Deutschland der neue Glücksspielvertrag. Ja, bevor, by the way, also immer aufpassen auf die Dealer, Trinkgeld geben, no tolerance rule, if not. Also das war angeblich in irgendeinem chinesischen Untergrund-Casino. Ich glaube, es ist nicht Blackjack, aber es wird irgendein Dings. Aber Tatsache, gratuliere an den Croupier. Erstmal eine extrem gute Wurftechnik. Wahrscheinlich früher Handballer. Und er hat den Gast wirklich getroffen. Ich würde gerne wissen, was der liebe Gast dem Croupier gesagt hat, dass er so auszuckt. Aber man beachtet die Technik. Ja? Hand aufstützen und nachwerfen. Also mit dem Körper nach vorne. Also die ganze Körperkraft hineingelegt. Also perfekt fürs Handball oder Volleyball. Also war da echt gemacht. Das habe ich heute bekommen. Ja, also es ist wirklich, ja, Bumsti. Okay. Gut. Glühneuerst. Also das ist unser neuer Glücksspiel, neuer Vertrag, bla 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 bla. Die meisten werden schon davon wissen, um was es alles geht. Bisschen Chaos natürlich noch. Keiner weiß so recht, was er tun soll. Auch die Online-Casinos, manche sind vom Markt schon verschwunden. Manche machen einen DE-Client, die anderen folgen jetzt mal den Vorgaben der Regierung. Ist es EU-konform? Ist es nicht? Was ist mit der Lizenz im Juli? Also da gibt es halt viele, viele Sachen. Und es ist ja auch so, dass die Anbieter derzeit, sagen wir mal, geduldet werden mit gewissen Auflagen. Und das ist halt, sage ich mal, es gibt vielleicht gute, schlechte Sachen. 4 Tische maximal spielen beim Pokern. Mich stört es nicht stören, viele von euch vielleicht auch nicht. Die Pros, die jetzt nicht auf mehreren Tischen spielen, stört es sehr wohl. Aber ich glaube, dass es jetzt mal kein großes Thema ist. Monatlich maximal 1.000 Euro einzuzahlen, finde ich jetzt ganz ehrlich eigentlich prinzipiell gut. Vielleicht zu wenig, vielleicht sollte man das ans Gehalt anpassen, aber im Endeffekt betrifft wieder die Pros und die High Limit und High Roller, die betrifft natürlich sehr. Ansonsten, wie gesagt, wenn man 12.000 Euro im Jahr verliert, ist es auch genug. Also wie gesagt, da gibt es vielleicht auch noch Möglichkeiten. Und ja, keine Platzwahl mehr möglich. Was es bringen soll, erhöht die Glücksvariante. Man hat weniger Einfluss auf welchen Tischen man spielen will, kann, darf. Warum das jetzt eingeschränkt wird, keine Ahnung. Ja, vielleicht schlimm ist eigentlich mehr für mich auch ein Anbieter nur gleichzeitig. Vielleicht, das ist alles noch in der Schwebe. Ja, dazu sage ich mal, das ist schon schade, weil man könnte zum Beispiel jetzt Window D spielen und nebenbei die PokerStars Million und nebenbei die Bounty Series of GG Poker und dann gibt es ja noch 888 und noch Party Poker, also mein Sunday Grind, wo man halt vielleicht mehrere Turniere gleichzeitig spielen könnte, finde ich halt eigentlich schade. Ja, die Vorschriften werden natürlich strenger, das heißt die Kontrollen werden strenger, man muss sich wirklich verifizieren, das Ganze wird halt viel, viel kontrollierter gemacht, um auch wirklich ein richtiger, echter Mensch ist. Und Panikknöpfe gibt es, Button. Also Panik heißt im Endeffekt so viel wie Hilfe, Panik, ich drücke drauf und bin gesperrt. Also der Panikknopf ist dann so wie Partypoker, glaube ich, damit begonnen, mit dem berühmten Blackjack-Banner im Eck. Das heißt, wenn ich beim Poker ein Bett mitbekommen habe, habe ich auf den Blackjack-Button gedrückt und bin Blackjack spielen gegangen und bin dann geheilt zurückgekommen zum Poker und gesagt, na, da bleibe ich lieber hier. Also, Panikbutton, weiß man nicht, Übergangslösung 15. Oktober, Lizenzen ab Juli 2021. Es ist auch nicht komplett unklar, wer, wie, was das kontrolliert sein soll, wer das machen soll, wie das gemacht werden soll. Die Anbieter sind alle sehr verunsichert, wissen selber nicht, was sie tun sollen, können, dürfen. Manche haben sie zurückgezogen, am besten einfach auf Pokerfirma gehen. Da können Sie das alles nochmal nachlesen, welche Seiten jetzt eigentlich Deutschland schon verlassen haben, welche eine App planen, aber im Endeffekt wird sein, wie viele Gesetze. Das Ganze ist mal in Begutachtung und dann wird das sicher noch adaptiert, reguliert. Es wird wahrscheinlich Klagen geben, also es ist so ein Rauf, runter, wischiwaschi, aber es passiert was und das glaube ich schon, dass es langfristig einfach besser ist für alle, wenn das Glücksspiel reguliert wird. Denn eins ist klar, das wissen wir alle, es gibt im Internet sicher, sage ich mal, zigtausende Anbieter, die wir jetzt so nicht kennen, vielleicht was das Poker-Business betrifft, aber Casino-Anbieter, die Leute einfach professionell abzocken. Also ich bin mir sicher, dass es linke Software gibt, wo man nicht gewinnen kann beim Slots, Roulette, Blackjack, wo auch immer. Alles gefakte Spiele und die versucht man natürlich da vielleicht dann aus dem Markt zu verdrängen und dass dann einfach Lizenzen gibt und dass die Leute dann einfach dort spielen, wo es lizenziert ist. Und ich glaube also schon, dass das langfristig gesehen, ganz ehrlich, der vernünftige Weg ist, in jedem europäischen Land zu regulieren und zu lizenzieren. Schauen wir mal, wie das wird in Deutschland. Derzeit natürlich viel Aufregung, wenn man das Ganze mal googelt, ja, dann kommen tausende Seiten natürlich, weil es geht ja nicht nur ums Pokern. Also es ist ein riesen Chaos noch natürlich und eigentlich die Übergangszeit ist relativ kurz und die Vorausgaben sehr streng plötzlich und das natürlich technisch umzusetzen. Ihr wisst ja, Software, die Großen wie Partypoker und PokerStars haben auch immer wieder Probleme, dass die Software abstürzt und das Ganze hängen bleibt. Jetzt könnt ihr euch vorstellen, wenn plötzlich der deutsche Spieler nur noch das dürfen, das nicht, das schon. Naja. Andere wahrscheinlich ist so, Immigration ist ja auch eine wichtige Sache im politischen Wahlkampf heutzutage in der EU. Wie viele Deutsche werden denn jetzt nach Österreich kommen? Noch mehr? Also wahrscheinlich kann ich einfach anfangen, können wir ein riesen Poker-Hotel, Poker-Zinshaus kaufen, ja? Und wir grinden alle gemeinsam dort, denn ich glaube schon, dass manche Pokerspieler Deutschland verlassen werden und naheliegend nach Österreich kommen, da komme ich nachher noch dazu, Österreich, aber ich glaube, dass das mal sicher der Weg ist, den viele einschlagen werden. Als Pro wird dir nichts anderes überbleiben, als Deutschland zu verlassen, was den Deutschen wahrscheinlich Gesetzen relativ schnuppe sein wird. Ja, also, wie gesagt, immer dabei bleiben, ich werde auch weiter darüber reden natürlich, ist nicht immer meine Topic, aber dazu komme ich auch nachher, was eigentlich meine Topic derzeit ist. Aber Pokerfirma, da kriegt ihr alle News, Updates und die sind immer sehr schnell, also da ist sicher das Beste. Ja, auch witzig, wissen wir alle, Online-Poker Schweiz, Casino, also Online-Business im Allgemeinen, ist jetzt relativ einfach gehalten in der Schweiz. Es dürften lizenzierte Casinos, die eine Lizenz beantragen, dürfen auch Online-Spiele anbieten, also sogenannte Online-Glücksspiele. Das heißt Casinos, Slots, Pokern etc. Wird schon genützt, also es gibt schon einige Casinos, die das umgesetzt haben. Pokern sind wir noch im Nirvana, da weiß noch keiner, was mit Online passiert. Ist natürlich wieder wahrscheinlich an den Kosten, Online-Poker ist nicht so einfach, damit Geld zu verdienen, nur online stellen kostet viel Geld, Support etc. Das heißt, die Schweizer werden dann wahrscheinlich überlegen, wir wissen ja noch nicht, weil die Schweizer passen sehr gut auf das Geld. Wir wollen da nicht irgendwo was hineinschmissen in die Kohle. Wir warten ein bisschen, warten ab und schauen wir dann, was wir tun werden. Also, Schweiz wartet, was das betrifft, noch Online-Poker ab. Online-Casino gibt es schon. Ab 1.2021 ist es ja auch so, dass Live-Poker-Turniere erlaubt sein werden. Die Poker-Clubs sprießen ja alle derzeit. Und ich arbeite auch zusammen mit dem Fullring Poker Club und mit der SBSA, das ist die neue Schweizer Poker Sports Association, die auch die neuen Clubs unterstützt. Also wer jetzt Leute kennt, die in der Schweiz darüber nachdenken, einen Club zu eröffnen, dann einfach an die SBSA wenden, die werden weiterhelfen. Und ja, und da gibt es halt auch natürlich Vorschriften, dass bei ihnen, das also Gesamtkosten darf nicht 200 Schweizer Franken übersteigen, maximal 4 Turniere an einem Ort und maximal 20.000 in Gesamtgewinnsumme. Also da wird es sicher spannend ab nächsten Jahr, was da alles passiert. Immer Damoklesschwert natürlich Covid-19. Schön, dass man einen Club aufmacht, wenn dann maximal 6 Leute im Club sitzen dürfen, macht das wahrscheinlich auch noch keinen Sinn. Also da müssen wir auch schauen, was passiert. Aber die Schweiz hat das mal eigentlich relativ simpel gelöst. Wir geben einfach den Casinos eine Lizenz und die dürfen dann damit machen, was sie wollen. Wenn sie nicht nützen, was derzeit Online-Poker betrifft, dann tun sie das nicht. Und ja, auch PokerStars hat Interesse gehabt, etc., da Skins zu machen. Ich weiß, dass andere auch dran waren. Also Window.de gab es Gerüchte und sonstige Gerüchte natürlich, die alle in der Schweiz tätig werden. Ja. Ansonsten gibt es natürlich noch auch Grand Casino Liechtenstein. Mein lieber guter Freund und Kollege Gino Jalzintunda, wie gesagt, Grand Casino Liechtenstein bieten ja auch Pokern an. Rennt auch derzeit gut im Cash Game. Turniere sind ja auch wieder geplant, aber da wissen wir halt auch noch nicht wann, wie, wo, was und wann. Also können wir sicher auch gespannt sein, was da in der Schweiz, Liechtenstein noch abgeht. Sobald, Finger crossed, endlich dieses Covid-19 sich vertschüsst. Also, Deutschland, neuer Glücksspielstaatsvertrag, Spannung. Schweiz, warten wir auch spannend, wann es endlich mit Online-Poker losgeht. Und dann gibt es noch die Bananenrepublik Österreich, die Republik Österreich. Gut bekannt als Bananenrepublik, denn in Österreich, und ich glaube, wir sind jetzt bald, wenn Deutschland das macht, eines der letzten und einzigen Länder, es gibt vielleicht noch irgendwo, die quasi in Europa, in der EU, das Glücksspiel nicht regulieren. Status quo ist, es gab ja auch schon dazu parlamentarische Anfragen. Also, wir haben Casino Austria und Window.de. Window.de ist die einzige offizielle Glücksspiel-Online-Seite, die quasi eine Lizenz hat. Alle anderen sind illegal, werden aber geduldet, grauer Bereich, und zahlen Steuern. Also, du bist illegal, wirst geduldet, musst aber Steuern zahlen. Bist aber nicht offiziell Lizenz. Wir wissen, Sportwetten ist das ausgeufert natürlich. Sportwetten sind alle in Österreich. Skill Game gibt es auch im Fernsehen alle von Interwetten, Bet at Home, Unibet, eben Tipp 3, Tipico. Alle Fußballer, die jemals Fußball gespielt haben, machen Werbung für Online-Sportwetten. Also da gibt es viele Sachen. Aber es ist nicht reguliert, es ist nicht lizenziert, es gibt keinen Spielerschutz, es gibt keine Geldwäschekontrolle. Es gibt keine offiziellen Lizenzen, der Staat verdient daran, wahrscheinlich gar nicht mal so schlechte Steuergelder, ohne Kopfweh, ohne Regulieren, aber im Endeffekt, sie sind trotzdem illegal offiziell. Es gibt ja auch den Trend derzeit, das Geld zurückzufordern von Online-Casinos, wenn man verliert. Das ist teilweise gut gegangen, teilweise hört man auch, es gibt natürlich auch welche, wo das nicht funktioniert hat. Also ist auch keine Gnade Wiesen, würde ich jetzt mal auf Österreichisch sagen. Muss man schauen, was da passiert. Ja, also Österreich, Bananenrepublik, Pokern, alte Geschichte, Concord Card Casino, soll noch immer aufsperren Mitte November, wahrscheinlich mit Heads-Up-Tischen, denn also prinzipiell Covid-19 wird der Concord-Gruppe meinen Strich durch die Rechnung machen. Es wird weiter überlegt, wie es funktionieren kann. Angeblich gibt es eine Variante, die rechtlich halten kann, soll. Da wird weiterhin noch herum natürlich getestet, also dieses Rein-Dings, ja, also es gibt ja auch das Bond-Casino in Wien, das ja auch immer parallel und Konkurrenz war zum Concord, die High Roller gehabt hat und das hat auch schon wieder offen. Es gab gestern wieder eine Razzia, den Besuch der Polizei in einem anderen Pokerclub, Home Game ist es nicht viel passiert. Bond Casino läuft doch alles. Bond Casino hat eine Möglichkeit gefunden, die legal ist. Wie gesagt, habe ich letztes Mal schon erklärt, mit Timesharing. Man mietet quasi Jetons, spielt irgendwie gratis. Ja, also wie gesagt, ich war noch nicht dort, werde auch nicht hingehen. Ja, schauen wir mal. Es gab eine lustige Geschichte dazu, ich werde nicht hingehen. Es gab ja Gerüchte, die gab wirklich, ja, dass Peter Zanoni in der Schweiz war, in Liechtenstein war, bei Home Games waren in Wien. Tatsache habe ich ihn gefragt. Ne? Tatsache, die Antwort ist relativ einfach. Nein, er war noch nie, das habe ich auch nicht, glaube ich, auch gewusst, bei irgendeinem Home Game in Wien. Und er war auch nicht in der Schweiz oder Liechtenstein. Er hat natürlich seine Fühler ausgestreckt, auch in der Slowakei. Wo könnte theoretisch denn ein Concord tätig werden? Wo könnte ein Concord Partner finden? Wo könnte ein Concord Card Casino eigentlich wieder tätig werden? Solange zumindest bis in Österreich eine Möglichkeit gefunden wird. Also, Bananenrepublik Österreich online. Graubereich, außer Window.de. Mein Partner, das ist offiziell, da bist du auf 100% sicher. Live, Casino Austria bietet Pokern an. Derzeit natürlich auch bei Casino Austria natürlich alles ein bisschen Schmalspurversion. Auch dazu eine Sache. Viele, auch ich manchmal natürlich, kritisieren Casino Austria und das Pokerangebot. Stimmt, aber Casino Austria Punkt 1 baut jetzt ja extrem viel Angestellte ab. Casino Austria ist nicht, warum auch immer, in den schwarzen Zahlen komplett. Also Pokern kostet immer Geld, ist ein Marketing-Tool und wie gesagt, ein Angestellter bei Casino Austria verdient zumindest seine 1.300 Euro netto, sage ich einmal. Soll jetzt 2.000 irgendwas brutto sein oder ein bisschen mehr. Und das sind für die sind schon relativ hohe Kosten. Also ein System Casino Austria mit Kollektivverträgen, einem Betriebsrat, funktioniert anders als ein Poker-Casino, ein Poker-Club, wo die Mitarbeiter hauptsächlich vom Trinkgeld leben und im Endeffekt das Casino sich extrem viel Lohnnebenkosten erspart. Also daher muss man auch jetzt in einer Krisenzeit wie Covid-19, wo die Leute so weniger spielen, weniger pokern, weniger Turniere sind, auch prinzipiell Casino Austria verstehen, dass da jetzt der Fokus sicher nicht auf Poker liegt und der Fokus eher liegt auf Easy Game, auf Slots etc. Wie gesagt, also online, grauer Markt, Bananenrepublik, willkommen in Österreich, Pokern live, Casino Austria, Concord wird wieder aufsperren, ansonsten zig Home Games, da komme ich auch nachher dazu, was man bei Home Games wirklich besser aufpassen soll, müsste und ja, das sind die Sachen, die sind. So, was jetzt Deutschland betrifft, habe ich ja schon gesagt, extrem kompliziert und dazu möchte ich euch gleich mal ankündigen. Nächste Woche, das ist ein super Highlight und ich bin wirklich glücklich, dass der Axel Zeit hat. Axel Mittig, einer der Rechtsexperten, was Glücksspiel und speziell Pokern betrifft in Deutschland. Ihr seht hier seine kurze Vita aufgeschlüsselt. Er ist seit 20 Jahren Hamburg Rechtsanwalt. Er ist seit 2006 ist er mit Pokernrecht in Kontakt und auch dort geblieben, einer der großen Experten. Er vertritt sehr viele Anbieter, Vertreter, auch dieses Charity, Sachpreisturniere, auch Pokerspieler, was steuerrechtlich betrifft. Also, wenn es einer weiß, warum dieser Staatsvertrag gut, schlecht ist, was sich steuerlich vielleicht für die Pokerspieler tun wird, kann, soll, wenn das Ganze reguliert ist, er wird es beantworten und er wird nächste Woche hier bei mir im Stream sein mit Zoom. Und ihr könnt auch, wenn ihr wollt, gerne natürlich dann dazuschalten. Ihr könnt dann im Chat natürlich auch Fragen stellen an Axel, betreffend vielleicht eure Situation, Steuerrecht, auch den Glücksspielstaatsvertrag, ja, was ihr glaubt, was ihr wissen wollt, die Unsicherheit, da sind wir dann einfach offen und es gibt auch kein Zeitlimit. Wie immer beginnt der Stream um 20 Uhr. Relativ bald wird dann Axel zu mir stoßen und dann haben wir Zeit Ende nie, also wir können die ganze Nacht durchchatten, bis Axel dann vom Sessel fällt und sagt, Thomas, ich will nicht mehr. Aber wie gesagt, also nächste Woche wird es sicher ganz cool, interessant und ich freue mich schon drauf, mit Axel über das Thema Pokern in Deutschland und den neuen Glücksspielstaatsvertrag neu irgendwie bla 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 zu diskutieren. Also, gut, ja. Das sind die Themen heute gewesen. Kurz und bündig zusammenfassend. Deutschland werden wir sehen. Schweiz werden wir sehen, was mit Online passiert und was mit den Live-Casinos passiert, mit den Pokerclubs. Wie das Ganze angenommen wird. Und dann final natürlich Österreich, Bananenrepublik. Nachdem unser großer Bruder Deutschland jetzt das Glücksspiel reguliert, ich traue mir Wetten abzugeben, dass spätestens 2021 plötzlich heißt, ja, wir regulieren jetzt auch unser Glücksspiel, ne? Macht unser großer Bruder, daher machen wir es auch, ne? Also, lasst uns überraschen, was da überall passiert. Wenn ihr wirklich Fragen habt, gerne an mich wenden, gerne an Pokerfirma schreiben, auch Themen, was das betrifft, für den Stream, was euch interessiert, was wir diskutieren sollen, bin ich immer für alles offen. Ja, und jetzt kommt der Punkt, wo wir wieder switchen to English. Okay, now we're switching to the English. Dodgy floor ruling. It's a topic about a dodgy floor ruling. Yeah, I think you can read it. I did it last time like quite very fast, so let's make more time. It's like the verbal announcement. This is like one of the most difficult topics in the poker business. When people announce an action, but maybe there is a misunderstanding or it's just not loud enough and also amerikanisches English, for example, American English, switching to German, American English sometimes I would not understand really clear. What you said, sir? What do you mean, raise to 50? Yes, okay. So, same situation like here. A player found aces and he was like under the gun and he was going all in and then the player said something. So then the dealer asked the player, you call? Yes. Oh, okay. The dealer asked again, you call? Yes. Okay, and then he mugged his hand. So now the dealer called the floor. Just a very confusing situation because if a player said call, the dealer asked him, you said call? Yes. The player asked him, you called me? Yes. Okay, and then you mug your hand. So and now at the end the floor is coming and the problem is now the floor decision was like that the cards are marked, so it's a fault. And then the player asked for a second ruling for a second floor, which honestly you're right. So don't forget, if you're a poker player and if you're in a tournament organization or a bigger tournament like WBT or like EPT or like anywhere else, and there's just a floor coming and making a ruling, and you are not happy with the ruling, you should ask for the tournament director for a higher position to make the second opinion. I always teach my floor, that's very important, that I'm, as tournament director, not making the first rule and decision because I could make a mistake and then the player asking for another opinion, but like, sorry, my opinion is final, I'm the highest position, so you don't get a second opinion. That's why sometimes I'm very arrogant, walking to the floor beside the table, and the dealer is like, floor, table 1. I'm just looking and say, floor, table 1, please. So I don't make the first decision ruling because I want to keep a chance for the player. So if you meet me in the next tournament and you say, look at this Lamach, arrogant guy, he was just beside my table, there was a floor call, and he just ignored us. Yes, I will ignore you because it's just I want to give you a chance to ask for a second opinion. So in this case, I think it was a very bad floorman because he didn't accept to give him a chance, and finally he gave him a warning. If he doesn't accept, he will get a penalty, and so this player asked him what's the right ruling. For me, it's like not 100% clear, but if a player calls twice, 3 times at the end. Announcing call, question, yes. Second question, yes. I would force him to call this bet. Back to the dealer. If the player throws his card in the muck, the dealer should protect the muck so that the cards are still out of the muck, so we can still find the real 100% proof that these cards were really the player's cards. And then it's just like I will continue. If the cards are in the muck, I maybe will still force the player for a call, because this is kind of angel shooting. Just making fun. He wants to make an advantage about this call. Yes, 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 and then like mucking his hand. So at the end, in this ruling, I really would penalize the player who tried to get advantage. And the next situation is one situation. It happens like also like sometimes. It was an EPT. I heard it maybe in Russia, maybe during the EPT Sochi. That a player is coming back to his table, taking place on the wrong seat, wrong table, and continue with a wrong stack. The dealer checked his name, but the names were very similar. So like in Germany and Austria, it's like Herr Müller, Herr Müller. Herr Müller Franz, Herr Müller Friedrich. Okay, F Müller, F Müller. So at the end, the dealer checked the ID and let him play this stack. So now it's a general topic, floor discussion about this topic. What will be at the end now the ruling? So, case number 1, the player sitting down and winning some chips, and the player coming back and say, that's my seat. Okay, in this case, quite simple. Rule number 1 is always like very important. We have to correct the seating of the player. So, the player is on the wrong seat, has to go back to his chips and continue play there. Another player can sit down. If the player was winning, sorry for the other table, sorry for the situation, but we don't know what happened if the player would play this hand, maybe the same, maybe not. At the end, I'm really sorry for this mistake. The player had to sit down. All the hands are finished, all these hands are passed. You know, they're gone, no matter if it comes 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, player had to sit down and continue with his chips. Small advantage, but I think it's fine. Then player is losing, and now it's getting more complicated. Now we have to get more in the sense of the game. If the player losing, let's say from 10,000 stake, he's losing 2,000 chips, and then the player is coming and complains, where are my chips? Where are my chips? I'm missing 2,000 chips now. I would make, from the sense of the game, I would still change their seats. The player has to go back to other chips, and I would take 2,000 of the stack of the player who made the fold and give it back to the player. Yes, you're moving chips from one table to the other player. Yes, it's maybe not correct, but yes, I don't want to penalize this one player who's just coming 5 minutes too late and sitting down and want to play his stack. So the end, if he's winning, okay, it was like his luck at the end, but losing, I would not accept that this player is penalized and have to continue the tournament with less chips. And the player who made the mistakes, and this is the point, is going back to others his stack and continue. Maybe he missed some blinds, but yet like he's sitting down and continue play. So I would have to penalize this player to cover from his stack the stack of the player. Also, if maybe the player is out of the tournament, I still would do the same, and the player is all in and out. Sorry, it was your mistake. You're playing the wrong stack. So you're out of the tournament. So. Same if the player passed it now. This was the worst case. So you come to your seat. It's like, where is my stack? It's gone. I would, in this case, still take the chips out of the game from the player who made the mistake. And I would add maybe some chips from our chip room. And I would explain the field. If the chip count isn't right, I will still complain that we have to add 5,000 chips to the player. Then he continue with the original stack. There was a chip count at the end of the break, so we know exactly how big was his stack. So the end, for my logic, first, the player who made the mistakes is the player we should penalize and take chips away and maybe disqualify him or kick him out of the tournament or bust him, whatever. The player who's coming, who didn't make any mistake, I would try not to penalize him or take away any kind of chips from his stack, and just try that he can start with his original stack. calculating maybe the blinds if the one orbit, you know, it still has deduct the chips, you know. There was the question now in the chat from Anton is like, yes, we discussed also like the topic just to add 2000 at the end from the chips to the total tournament. I could, but honestly, in my thoughts, I want to penalize the player who made the mistake. I don't want to give him the chance, and also like for collusion or cheating, that we give chips automatically to the stack. Imagine the worst situation, we play together. You are Ferdinand Müller, I'm Friedrich Müller, but we are very good friends or brothers or sisters, eh? So then we come to the tournament and say, oh, fuck, I have not enough chips. You know what? Go there, play my stack, play very aggressive, and if you lose 2000 chips, text me, I will come, and then the tournament director will give me 2000 chips and you go back to your stack. Ah, good tactic. So then there's a small chance, you know, that we can manipulate the game a little bit, that there could be like a cheating option, that I losing chips and I will get it back, so the player get it back from the tournament organization, which I want to avoid. So that's why I will always try to balance the stacks, because these two stacks belong to one player. He played these stacks, but he's the owner of this stack. So I will try to do it. It's very complicated. It's a very, very tough ruling. But in my thoughts and mind, always like rule number one, who made the mistake? Second, who didn't make any mistakes? Who is now the unlucky guy? And always try to penalize the player who made the mistakes finally. And this is the player who took the wrong seat. Back to the problem, like later in the future with technical, I think it's like one day it will be like fingerprint or recognition or like visible or whatever, so that we can avoid things like that. Okay, so these were the two rulings for tonight. And now I want to switch to one topic, because I got some requests from friends, from players. Thomas, what are you doing now during COVID? Because there are no events. Yes. When we heard about the news at the end, in the beginning, it was quite shocking that step-by-step events were cancelled. I was still hoping, because at the beginning, you know, COVID-19 were like, okay, there's some in Asia, there's some virus and there, but it's far away. So there will be very soon my IPO San Remo. I was going to EPT Monaco. This was the plan, to meet some colleagues, friends and business, and then I go to San Remo to run the tournament, and then I was discussing like a WPT Montenegro, and I was in contact with Portugal, because we said we will run the WPT Portugal again. So at the end, I was in very good mood and everything was fine. And at the end, at the beginning, nobody took like Corona that serious, you know. But then, ching, Thomas, seat open. I said, what the fuck? So at the end, then it was getting worse, because events by event were cancelled. So Italy was like very bad. We know all this, like COVID-19. So IPO San Remo was very fast cancelled. Yeah, and then like in Austria, it starts to like get to a serious problem, and discussing a lockdown and restrictions, and like at the end, like we couldn't travel anymore. So at the end, I knew, oh, what the fuck, I think my business is kind of down. I didn't know how long, but at the end, like it was kind of like what I should do, what I should not do. And there's one thing I was really thinking in the beginning.
Your career is finished. You are gone, gone, gone.
This was in the beginning. Really, it was kind of like kind of shocking in the beginning, that we really was thinking about.
Your career is finished. You are gone, gone, gone.
So honestly, like I think thoughts like this, because like my colleagues, everybody's afraid. I'm a tournament director. I have like, let's say, 3-4 colleagues in Europe on the same level running a lot of tournaments, tournament director. But I have so many colleagues, they're also floor or like dealer at the end, and we're all in the same fucking situation. We have no live events, and Kings was running some events with some freelance dealers, but they didn't need any floor, didn't tournament director. So then our business was really completely down, and that's why really we're talking for some of us, the careers really finished because like they had to find some new jobs. So some of my colleagues started a career there, try to get a job in Paris in a poker club, but at the end like still, oops. Yeah, Thompson, the question is like, I'm really thinking that live tournaments and cash games are coming back till next spring, summer. Hashtag no way. Yes, I really believe that they're coming back. I believe in the vaccine. I'm quite sure, like what everybody's saying, like also our prime minister everywhere, that our life will not be normal until March, April. And I know that a lot of casinos and live organizations just waiting to relaunch tournament poker. So I know Grand Casino Liechtenstein, their renovation, construction of the second floor is kind of finished. So they want to start the first tournament in January. This is like too early, but as soon as the travel restrictions are away and the vaccine is there and you can go to protect yourself, and also all the medicaments are getting stronger and the high risk of pandemic, like in summer, is over, I'm quite sure live events will come to very, very soon. Rivastas Bratislava, they have a big casino with like 60 permanent poker tables, and we were in contact and have already like a contract signed for big live international tournaments. Yes, King's Casino honestly was running live events until the end, when they say no, you're not allowed to. But still, they took the risk until the end of the possible date. As long as it was no lockdown in Czech Republic, Kings was running live events. So at the end, not in every country it will come back, but I'm quite sure in many countries it will be back very soon. And people, WPT Deep Stake, they're just it's a live event organization. They're running now a lot of like online tournaments, but still like they're waiting until they can run it. And I'm quite sure as soon as we can travel and the casinos are allowed to run indoor events, I'm quite sure many casinos will per instant, maybe 1-2 months time to organize it, they will start to run live events. So as you see, like in my career, like there was like the IPO San Remo. There was the WP Deep Stake in 2 countries. This is like one picture of my friends from Portugal. I was talking to Texa Poker, which is a French organization. We planning tournaments. Window Day and me were thinking about some funny live events. Reba Stars in Prague and Bratislava. We were thinking about to run some live tournaments again. Like Xmas in Prague was always very successful. So at the end, yes, I'm very optimistic that as soon this COVID shit is kind of over, the live poker will come back very, very fast and soon. So let's hope the best at the end. There's no proof, but I think so it will be happen, And yes, you're right, Thompson. It's like from country to country is different because of the travel restrictions. But for example, in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Asia, they start already to travel between these countries because they need it for economy, they need it for tourism. Thailand has a deal with China. So because the numbers are quite down at the moment, so Thailand is opening now the travel for the Chinese tourists during the winter season. So at the end, I think it will be happens. Like poker is kind of tourism, it's poker tourism. So I'm quite sure as soon as it's possible with some restriction and protection, and maybe skiing in Austria, they will you can go skiing with a negative COVID test. Maybe they can run a poker tournament if the 500 unique players have a proof of a negative COVID test. Then why not, So there could be like solutions which honestly, if I have a casino and like let's say King's Casino, I would maybe try to fight with the government to let player play if they have always a 2 days verification negative COVID test. So at the end, everything could be possible. I think in the future. We don't know it yet, but I think yes. Okay, back to me and my personal situation with COVID-19. The most important is the bankroll management. So. I was planning for years, to sell my apartments because I have quite a high bank loan. I invested in Swiss franc. Was my biggest loss ever in my life. But at the end, yes, I decided finally really to sell my apartment in Vienna, which I did. And I bought a small house outside of Vienna. So I just honestly for bankroll management, I just was going down in decreasing my running costs. So at the end, my running costs are much lower than it was before, like 9 months ago. So at the end, this was my reaction of COVID-19 because let's say my business is down. I have some small business sometimes, I do some consultings and some other stuff. But at the end, like yes, the reaction was quite very simple. Also, like I'm playing some poker now, quite successful. So I'm quite happy of my poker results as a really amateur, not pro. But as I'm in the business for 25 years, I think I'm not that bad poker player. Not the best, highest level, but I think for these standard tournaments, I'm quite fine. And at the moment, if I play some tournaments, this is my focus. Cash game, I'm not patient enough. I'm too much gambler in the tournament. I have more focus on it. It's running fine. And on win today, it was my biggest win the last 9 months. It was like 10,000 euro. I was third in the biggest win today tournament ever. I was third and cashed out 10,000 euros, so 10k covered kind of some months for my costs and running costs. So at the end, this was the biggest success, and I'm still playing, and I find okay and positive with my poker. Not winning millions or like 1,000 euro every month, but at the end, like it just helps to cover my running costs. Yeah, and then asked the tournament director. I think this was like one of the most important things at the end during my career. I was planning this live stream on Twitch for 2-3 years. I was talking to Rosie about my plans, my concept, what I want to do. I want to invite tournament directors. I want to invite Bad Life here beside me here. And now, now what happened now? I have only him. Only Mini Thomas is here. So I'm still alone. So at the end, my plan was like to invite some guests, not only him, and we can discuss like tournaments, ruling, decision. I wanted to invite some dealers. I wanted to invite events organization from Malta, from whatever, and discussing live, like in a living room, the poker business in 2020. So, but at the end, still gave me a chance, to start Twitch. And honestly, I developed myself a lot with graphics. I do everything myself. So and it's really like kind of a really tough job to prepare the content, to prepare the graphics, to think about the topics next week, what I can do, contact people. And it's a one-man show at the end. Rosie is helping me a lot with some ideas and content. But at the end, all the graphics and music and videos and blah, blah, I do myself. So at the end, it keeps my brain working during this COVID time. And I'm quite happy about this stream and the success. I'm not a Knossi, shouting, crying and get millions of followers. But I think then I have to be like kind of like funny and like Knossi and drinking more vodka. And whatever, do some stupid and funny things. Maybe also an angle camp or a horror camp. But no, I will stay like this. I will keep tournament director. and continue. So, but at the end, Twitch is one of my favorite. It's my baby now. I like it, and I'm really still like happy with my results, and I'm not focused. That's why it's like still for free, because now I'm like kind of affiliate of Twitch, which I don't really know what it is, but I can ask like some money, like if you have more streamers or followers, I can sell abonnement, so you can pay for it to follow me. But I don't want to ask anybody of you right now to pay me like 1 or 2 cents, whatever, $15 kind of for abonnement. So yeah, let's see. Then my second hobby. Yes, like as I bought a house, and I do some construction kind of myself. So it's really a lot of fun. I'm not a professional, really, trust me. This picture is really funny. I'm more like, so my family telling me I'm the bulldozer, not a gardener, not a construction guy. I'm just a bulldozer. So it means like everything is not needed in this house, I just destroy it, and it works really fine. I was destroying the garden. They had like old tires, old jeans, shoes with like flowers on it. Trust me, it was awful. So I destroyed everything in the garden. I destroyed the house, the old bathroom. They had a winter garden, but self-constructed. They have a terrace, self-constructed. So my job was I destroyed everything. So this is still my job in the house. But at the end, it's like kind of a workout. I don't do that much sport at the moment. Because I have not really the brain, the mindset, honestly, to do some sports. It's my focus. I want to do it again, to start again, my swimming, everything. But at the moment, honestly, I'm not like in the emotion and in the mood to do some sports. I think it's still a difficult time for everybody of us. So at the end, I'm not quite motivated to do some sports, but I will do it, that's 100% sure, but it's just like a way what it is. Yeah, and finally, honestly, this is like very important. Believe in yourself. Really. It's not like blah, blah, blah. Trust me, I have a lot of moments now since March and February, which I don't trust myself. I'm scared about the future. I don't know what's the right way, if you go left or right or the middle, or blah. But you just have to believe in yourself, and not every time, but be motivated yourself. Think about what you reached, what's your goals. Don't watch and listen too much news about this fucking COVID and stupid things. It will go over. Focus on yourself, enjoy your life, do what you ever wanted to do. Like for me, the Twitch stream, I always wanted to do some things like that, I was always scared, had no time, and now at the end, with Corona, we have the chance to do it at the end, but we have never read some books, I want to write a book, I want to write a Netflix series, maybe I will do it now, because now maybe in the next 3, 4, 5 months I will not have anything really to do, just some consulting, my Twitch stream, but the end like my house, but hopefully the house is finished in November, so then I will have time enough, to realize my dreams, just to try it. And what you can lose? Nothing you can lose. Just try it, and everybody of us get some support from the government. It's not amazing what we get, but like me, and I have no income at the end, lower income, let's say like this, not. So at the end, I still get some support from the government, which I won't get rich, but I can pay my running costs, and at the end, I will survive, and I will come back stronger than before. And just believe in yourself. And for me, for example, the Twitch stream, for me, which motivates me the most, how many tournament directors, how many floor, how many people in the business doing the things like I'm doing? Not many. So at the end, if you Google now Thomas Lamach and ask tournament director, it's full of it's full of YouTube and live stream, blah blah blah. So I believe that my name, my brand, will be stronger after Corona than it was before. So at the end, just believe in yourself. Just don't give up, and just like fuck the COVID, and don't think about, and everything will be much better. So this is like, to me, what is the tournament director doing during COVID-19? Streaming, thinking about the future, different kind of business. I have some ideas about kind of like cryptocurrency and some ideas, and this will come up in the next weeks for sure. I have some offers from some friends, to have new jobs. I'm always like contact people for new ideas. So at the end, like, motivate yourself. Think about. Don't let your brain going down. And this is the worst thing. And I'm playing a lot of fun, stupid sport games on my phone. But keep your brain working, and also keep your routine. I'm waking up in the morning. I try to walk in the morning. I check my emails in the morning. I start to make my stream. So just follow your rules and follow your routines, and not just give up. Okay. Then the last topic for tonight, which is also like for me very, 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 very important. I think I told you the story already about. I was in Spain last summer to visit my brother-in-law. They have a very nice villa close to Barcelona, on the sea, on the highest level, perfect view. Maybe you have seen my jumping pictures. And he's French, also like my wife, and we met a nice barbecue evening with some neighbors, and there was all like one aesthetic chirurg from Paris, one of the richest, one of the most successful guys in Paris, and he said one friend of him is like a lawyer, has two sons. Both of them playing poker a lot, and as the end successful. No, that's the problem. They're losing a lot, really a lot, and the father is really scared, how he can stop his sons to play poker. I say, where are they playing? They have some home games in Paris, some private games. I say, okay, then please call your friend right now and give me his sons. I will talk to them. They should stop to play home games. They should go to Casino Barrière, Casino Partouche. They should go to some circus, Club Montmartre. Now there are so many poker clubs in Paris. If not, travel, fly around and go to some other tournament, and you will see 100% they will start to win sometimes, because we're losing non-stop. So at the end, this is like home games. I think the most difficult parts. First, you should know your host. Do you know the guy who is running home games? Do you know this guy? Do you know where he's living? In some small apartment? So, follow these rules. You should know your host. If some friends inviting you, let's come. There's a very nice home games. Yeah, come join us. It's really great, You should only go if you know your host, if you know your friend very well, and you feel really, really 100% comfortable over there. If not, fuck it. Don't go there. Really, it's really important that you know with whom you're playing. Second one, check the rake. I met a very good friend of mine. He's a doctor in Vienna. I was there to have my health examination, and I asked him, and do you play some home games? 1-2 times, not many. And I told him the story, that in some home games, the rake is like enormous. They officially say it's capped 25, but if the player getting a little bit drunken, a little bit tired in the morning, the dealer is forced to take out of the pot whatever he can take. So it's not like take 20, take 40, take 50, take whatever you want. I heard the story. One player had played some hands, he had around a stack of €100. Okay, so there was like one race, a call, and he shoved. Okay, all in. One call. So then you can estimate that maybe like 220, 250 euro in the pot. He won the pot, celebrating, drinking, high five with his neighbor, and he counted his chips. 134 euro he got. So his net profit was 34 euro. So the home game just took like 80, 90 euro rake because they thought he's drinking, celebrating, he's amateur. And my friend, the doctor, said, Thomas, I don't care about the rake. I just play for fun. I'm losing 300 or 600 euro, but I don't care about the rake. Yes, but you should at least, because otherwise it's kind of cheating and they will steal money. And honestly, if they steal on the rake, maybe they steal everywhere. So at the end, just check the rake. It's very simple. Ask the rake, look at the rake, and just take care a little bit. You don't mind, it's fine. You can tip the dealer like double amount. But just check the rake, just if everything is fine. Check your opponents at the end. Why? Easy. Not if they're good players or bad player, or if they're like a general director or like a taxi driver or like whatever, a professional poker player. I don't care about this, but check your opponents. Like, are always the same players, sitting always in the same seat? Is he winning non-stop? Is he also like winning some very strange hands or funny hands, or like? Just check your opponents, like how they behave. In many home games, the owner, the host, is playing himself. So at the end, sometimes he's the loser. That's why the game is running. This is fine. But sometimes, he's just a house player. He's playing for the house. He's sitting left or right to the dealer, so maybe he can see their other cards and their hands, etc. Just check them, how often they're there, how they're playing. What kind, if you know them or not. It's just very important just to know a little bit more about your opponents. Not if they're nice guys or not, just how they behave all the time in this home game. And the last point is maybe the most important point in home games. Just be aware, it's 2020. And if you don't trust me, just go online, Google cheating software, cheating poker software, cheating poker equipment. You will find a lot of Chinese equipment site where you can contact them and order very cheap, honestly, marked cards with illumination, with lights, with this most difficult is like the most dangerous is like the barcode. I'll show you with one deck of cards like this one, So at the end, the cards are like marked on the side. So like here, they have a barcode from here to here. Just like this is like marked here. So if the dealer shuffles the hand, there's like a cam like this. And the cam just make a picture of this one and see the barcode. So there's a software behind. The resolution is sent to a computer. The computer is calculating the hand and the results and just sending the results. Who is the winning place? So 3, 5. So it means seat 3 is the best one, seat 5 is the second strongest one. So if now, back to the check your opponents, if there's a player playing for the house and he knows all the cards, he's sitting on seat number 3, and I look at my cards and say, oh, check 5. And my ear, my hand is like 3. Oh, yes, I'm winning. Okay, good. Raise, re-raise. Okay, I'm tired. I want to go home. Okay, all in. I don't care. I go. Let's go. And check 5 is the winning hand. Yeah, full house. 5 of whatever. So at the end, it's very simple to cheat. Marked cards. There's some ink, magic ink. It's very simple. Contact lenses, sunglasses, cameras. And you can see every card of the players. The highest level is like you can pay $20,000 and you get a full table of cheating equipment. The table, the light, everything is manipulated. You can find it. It's perfect made, and you can't win really at the end. So I don't want to make a scary movie now out of home games, but I just want that you be aware where you're playing, with whom you're playing, and just be aware of the equipment and how is the running all the time over there. Just don't get there, just blind and say, oh, I don't care, everything is fine. So this is like what people asking me why home game are like dangerous. Yeah, and that's for me really the most important thing. Yeah.
You know, the fundamental rights of an online poker player. You don't have any.
Logic? Okay, this is maybe the last word from Daniel Negreanu for the online players in Germany now. You don't have any rights. First, for the online player in Switzerland, you don't have an online game. And this is maybe for the rights in Austria. You can play on illegal sites. They accept it. Not accepted. They're geduldet. They're like not accepted. Yeah, they're just running. They're ignored by the Austrian government. So at the end, you don't have any rules. And okie dokie, that's the end of my stream. It was again a pleasure to talk to you and with you and the chat. I really love my Twitch stream. I hope you also like it. If you like it, share it, bring me new customer, new followers. Let's have more discussion. And very important for the next week, Axel Mittig, Lawyer of Germany, deutscher Rechtsanwalt, Glücksspielvertrag neu, der Staatsvertrag in Deutschland. Er wird uns was darüber sagen und es wird sicher eine spannende Sache. Deswegen an alle Freunde, Bekannte, ladet alle ein, lasst uns wirklich diskutieren. Ich habe viele Fragen, ihr habt sicher noch mehr Fragen als ich. Und es wäre einfach eine coole Sache, wenn es ein richtig geiler Chat wäre und wir Axel eigentlich überhäufen können mit Fragen. Dann werden Sie sicher, sein Stundenlohn ist höher und wir kriegen nächste Woche gratis. Gut, dann kann ich nur sagen, danke für euch. Cheers, happy week, stay healthy, bleibt gesund. Und eins ist klar, der River ist noch lange nicht gedealt und wir lassen uns nicht unterkriegen und so schnell gehen wir nicht all in. Schöne Woche, bis dann. Cheers und ciao.